Earlier on today, a letter was dropped on my desk from the faction now known in FWE as the Family. Inside this letter was detailed a number of demands stating that all 4 members of the Family should receive title shots in quick proximity of the next couple of weeks. For Michael Norman, he's demanding a title shot against Dylan Young for the Tri-Wizard Championship. Anthony McCurry and Cole Eastwood, they want a shot at the tag team titles, and Matt McIntyre demands a shot at the United States Championship. Now this is FWE. No demands are ever made, and no demands are ever acted upon. In order to be able to even get a sniff of championship gold, you have to earn it. And therefore, while I am more than willing to give the fans what they want, I am not going to do that at the expense of the values that I am the one in charge. The inmates are not running the asylum. I make the decisions. But family, I'm willing to play part of the way. You see, while you've given me a list of demands, I am going to give a list of demands to you. You want the title shots? You will get them. However, there are 3 things that need to be done for these title shots to even take place. Number 1, Michael, tonight you will put the Intercontinental Championship on the line against an opponent of my choosing. Secondly, Matt, I'm going to need you to allow the reinstatement of Ernie the Keebler Elf. Now, I know that you defeated him in that ambulance match. I know that you got the stipulation of him indefinitely suspended. But I need him brought back, in which next week you will take him on in a Hell in a Cell match. And finally, if you want those title shots, all 4 of you must agree at the upcoming PLE FWE Infinity War Games to take on a team of my choosing in a 4-on-4 War Games main event match. You match all of those criteria, all of those demands on my side, and you'll get your title shots after FWE Infinity War Games. So what's it gonna be? It's your move, family.
Goes the air, gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, tougher, fists held high. Warriors fight till the night says die. FWE with battles to find. Every broken bone all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. Who's this ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE with battles to find. Every broken bone all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. Oh, FWE with FWE. Oh, FWE with FWE. FWE with battles to find. Every broken bone all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome here to FWE inside the FWE Fantasy Dome, as we are only 2 short weeks away from FWE Infinity War Games. Well, you heard that list of demands given by the family, the counter by the FWE Commissioner. Tonight, Michael Norman will put the Intercontinental Championship on the line in tonight's main event inside of a steel cage.
It's a fatal 5-way Extreme Rules match, and it's for the Women's Hardcore Championship. Introducing the challenger from the internet, Helen Parker.
Well, you heard it, fatal 5-way for the Women's Hardcore Championship. Extreme Rules, hardcore style, and making her FWE debut from the Incredibles, Helen Parr, better known as Elastigirl. What a packed night we have here this evening. Jack Mitchell challenges Emperor Cusco for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. Second time we're gonna see Ellie inside of an FWE ring. Made her debut last week as she participated in that Fighting with My Family, or I'm sorry, correction, the Hero of China Fighting Female Championship. Battle Royal. Second opportunity at Championship Gold here for the female character out of the Last of Us franchise, but what a bombshell out of FWE Commissioner Christopher Pierce, giving that list of demands to the family. Michael Norman puts the Intercontinental Championship on the line here tonight. Next week, Hell in a Cell match between Matt McIntyre and the reinstated Ernie the Keebler Elf. And then in 2 weeks' time at FWE War Games, the family in a 4-on-4 War Games match. We don't even know who the team is that they're going to be facing off against. They don't even know. And it's interesting, too, that the FWE Commissioner didn't put in a stipulation that they have to win those matchups. They just have to agree to participate in them.
And representing the Queen from the People's Republic of China, the Ancient Nightmare!
As Mulan makes her way to the ring, I mean, participation the only requirement, not having to win, and if they do participate in all of those matchups we talked about up until Infinity War Games, then they get title shots. All 4 members. Michael Norman would get to challenge for the Tri-Wizard Championship. Cole Eastwood, Anthony McCrory would get to challenge for the tag team titles. And Matt McIntyre would get to challenge for the United States Championship. So there is a scenario, folks, that somewhere between Infinity War Games and the Royal Brawl, that we could end up having all 4 members of the family draped in championship gold.
And from the city of Atlantis, Kid!
Cheetah, much like Ellie, participated last week in that Hero of China Fighting Female Championship Battle Royal, was unsuccessful. Opportunity here tonight for the Women's Hardcore Championship. And of course, I talked about briefly Royal Brawl. That'll be taking place on August the 7th. FWE's equivalent to the Royal Rumble, where we will have a 30-man over-the-top rope Royal Rumble match, a 30-woman over-the-top rope Royal Rumble match, in which the winners of each one of those matchups will have a guaranteed championship match at Paramount, FWE's version of WrestleMania.
We're stepping in, we're not stepping out. What I know is that this IL teams that make up this style.
And representing the Queens from overseas, the Women's Hardcore Champion of
We saw Ariel win the Women's Hardcore Championship very early on in her FWE career. She has successfully defended it. Here tonight, though, the odds definitely stacked against her, as she will have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 opponents. And this is not an elimination style type matchup either. It is first pinfall, first submission, so the champion will potentially not even have to be in the decision for the title to change hands. And you have to wonder for these 5 women, we've of course got coming up very, very soon on July 10th, the Fairly Odd Partners PLE, a mixed match challenge tournament. And how many of these women are going to be participating? How many are going to find a male counterpart to be able to team up with in that special one night only PLE? Here we go, Hardcore Championship on the line. Extreme Rules type matchup. Anything goes, no disqualifications. Pinfall submission, though, to win the title do have to take place inside of the ring. And Elastigirl, I believe that was a clothesline. Our referee earned a strike kind of in the middle of that camera shot as the champion was going to be the first one to initiate weaponry in this matchup, but decides against it. There's a nice side Russian leg sweep there by Mrs. Incredible. Only the second matchup here in FWE for both Kita and Ellie. Debut for Elastigirl, who receives a high knee there from Ellie. Ariel, currently the hardcore champion, but she's not exactly had a long spell in her career in FWE. One that's been here the longest, the veteran, if you will, of these 5 is, oh my gosh, Ariel just completely clobbered Ellie, who in turn used a sledgehammer to the gut of Kita, but the longest tenured FWE wrestler in this matchup would be Mulan, representing the Queens. All 5 outside of the ring right now. As soon as I say that, Elastigirl deposited back inside of the ring, courtesy of Ellie. And now she'll make her way back out to the outside here, squaring off with Kita. Hurricane Rana by Ariel to Ellie. Little double team there by Ariel and Elastigirl on Kita. Sometimes your friends are where you find them. You want to make some alliances. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess, mentality, as Kita's got a table. Was looking to use it there against Elastigirl, who blocked. And now what's Elastigirl looking for? She's going to get a ladder. Mulan, martial arts expert. Some shots there on Kita. Ariel taking it to Ellie. That ladder is inside the ring now. I don't know what Elastigirl was planning to use with it, but she's got a cover here on Mulan for the Hardcore Championship, and broken up by Kita. Now the ladder's slid outside of the ring. Cover here by Ellie on Elastigirl, and Ariel keeps her championship alive for the time being. Ellie, though, setting up. Looking for the choke, the guillotine choke. And Ariel noticing that again, keeping her championship in play. Oh, she's going to the top rope. Might have been looking for the splash. Ellie takes her down. And Ariel is going back up top again. And she's gonna hit the splash. She's the only one in the ring. Cover. And Ariel is going to overcome the odds. She will retain the Women's Hardcore Championship.
Here is your winner, Women's Hardcore Champion,
Well, Ariel was not going to be denied hitting the splash. She gets the 1, 2, 3. She remains the Women's Hardcore Champion, despite the overwhelming odds. FWE rolls on here tonight. Don't go anywhere. We've got some championship matches coming up later on.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Kyle Matthews. Representing the Thrill Seekers from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Men's World Champion, Dylan Young.
Well, Dylan Young still without an opponent for FWE Infinity War Games. We'll be determining that number one contender, I've been told, next week. We'll have more details on that in a minute. But Dylan gonna go one-on-one with Anthony McCurry, who, remember, pinned the champion 2 weeks ago.
And his opponent, representing the family from Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Anthony.
It was 2 weeks ago in a tag team matchup with Dylan Young and Levi McIntyre against Anthony McCurry and Cole Eastwood that the family were victorious, Anthony pinning Dylan Young 1-2-3. So Dylan looking for a little retribution here tonight. Ever since this family got together, they have been very, very successful. Not only picked up that tag team matchup I referred to, but last week they were in that 3-on-3 tag team matchup against the Black Pearl Crew, in which they also picked up a victory. Can they go 3 for 3 or even 4 for 4 tonight? Michael Norman, the leader of the faction, putting the Intercontinental Championship on the line inside of a steel cage. We have yet to know who his opponent is going to be that he will defend that championship against. Dylan, of course, flanked by his Thrill Seekers partner, Kyle Matthews. Matt McIntyre, Cole Eastwood on the outside of the ring in support of their family member, Anthony McCurry. And I talked about the fact that we will next week be determining the number one contender for the Tri-Wizard Championship. It will be a 20-man gauntlet elimination style matchup. Heel hook locked in here by Dylan Young on Anthony, trying to force a quick tap out. Anthony able to shift his hips and will fight out of that submission predicament. And now hits a side Russian leg sweep. Does Anthony. You would certainly have to think if Anthony is able to pick up another pinfall victory against Dylan Young, he would have a World Championship title shot at some point down the road. As Dylan working on the back of the neck there with a pinpointed knee cover here on Anthony, who's going to kick out at 1. And looking maybe for a small package suplex, rolls into the small package, looking for the win. And Anthony just able to sneak out at 2. Now Dylan gonna go up top. Might be looking for the swanton, and he will hit it. But did he get all of it is the question. He might have only partially gotten some of it. Looked like that took just as much out of Dylan as anything. Nice suplex there. Dylan going back up top again. Anthony still down. Might be looking for a second swanton. That time he hit it flush. And now Dylan taking Anthony away from the ring ropes. Now might be looking for the cover. Looking for the victory here on Anthony. And very quickly, Dylan Young gets his retribution. Well, a little momentum there for the world champion. A couple of swantons, enough to put Anthony McCurry away. First loss here for the faction known as the Family here in FWE. As Dylan Young gets ready to roll into FWE Infinity War Games. Don't go anywhere. Coverage continues next.
following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Global Cruiserweight Championship.
Well, last week, Jack Mitchell was successful in a #1 contenders match. Tonight, he gets a shot at the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. Jack Mitchell able to win the triple threat #1 contenders match last week. Coming out victorious against Peter Pan and Harry Potter. Gets an opportunity here to pluck the equivalent to the Cruiserweight Championship here in FWE from Emperor Cusco. Cusco coming into tonight's matchup as a double champion after he and Kronk were able to win the Men's Disney Tag Team titles last week in a triple threat tables match. And of course, still later on tonight, folks, the leader of the family, the Intercontinental Champion, Michael Norman, puts the title on the line inside a steel cage. Opponent still to be determined by our FWE Commissioner, Christopher Pierce. Well, here you see, not only carrying the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship, but the tag team titles as well. Emperor Cusco and Kronk were a wild card tag team put in that tables match last week against the current then champions, Vicious and Delicious, RJ Bishop, Nick Gunther, and the former title holders representing the Avengers, Thor and Hulk. And the X Factor were the victorious ones. We'll have to wait and see who Cusco and Kronk will be defending the tag team titles against, and when they will defend those titles. But here tonight, that championship in the right hand of the Emperor is what is on the line. Cusco, the inaugural Wayfinder Cruiser Champion, successfully defended that title in a ladder match against Carson Gumbs. Second title defense for the champ.
Introducing the challenger from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, Jack Mitchell! And his opponent from New York, weighing in at 185 pounds, the Global Cruiserweight Champion and one half of the Men's Superstars Tag Team Champions, Cola!
Well, this is what it's all about. Jack Mitchell looking to become the second Wayfinder Cruiser Champion in FWE history. Cusco looking to continue his reign as king of the cruiserweights. Normal straight-up matchup. Cusco defended the title against Carson Gum in a ladder match. This is just a normal one-on-one matchup. And here we go. And already right out of the gate, suplex into a bridge pin. Kick out before even a 1 count by Jack Mitchell. Now, Cusco going to work on the legs. Locks in the leg lock. Mitchell looking to fight out of it. Cusco coming out firing very quickly here in the early going of this matchup. Mitchell now. Oh, missed with the kick, hit with the reverse kick. Lights out for Cusco. Could this be it? Could the title be changing hands? No. Plenty of life still left in the champion as he kicks out before referee's hand comes down for 1. And now Mitchell deposited to the outside. Cusco wouldn't mind retaining the title on a countout, I'm sure. But he'll go out to actually meet Jack Mitchell, so referee Ernest Wright would reset the count back to 1 once again. And we're going to be doing a little fighting on the outside of the ring here. Both individuals have to be aware of the 10 count as Mitchell back inside of the ring. Title cannot change hands on a countout or a disqualification, so champion's advantage in that regard. Knee right to the gut there of Cusco, debilitating the champ for just a moment there, and now Mitchell with the mount, laying in with the lefts. Kick for good measure into the cover, and not even again going to get a 1 count. Mitchell now with the fireman's carry, and into the reverse discus forearm. And again laying in with the left hands right to the side of Cusco. And now the kicks right to the forehead, maybe right to the bridge of the nose. And Cusco gonna roll underneath the bottom rope for a little bit of a rest. Not gonna meet it though, as he's gonna get hit with a spear to the outside. And Mitchell with a flying forearm, glancing off the back of the neck there of Cusco, and Cusco out on his feet. Enziguri though by the champ. Takes down Mitchell. And now looking to utilize the outside of the ring. Oh, reverse spin kick by Mitchell. Going for a drop kick there, but Cusco able to evade, gets back into the ring, and now says, bring it on. Mitchell says, all right. Hoists Cusco up onto the top rope. Oh, what in the world could Jack be thinking here? Up top in no man's land, looking for the superplex. Cusco gonna fight out of it, and shoves Jack off the top rope down to the canvas below. And now, looking for the small package suplex. Pain combination as well. 1, 2, kick out by Jack at 2. Cusco just 1 count away from retaining the title. Oh, and what a right hand. Vicious right hand, now looking maybe for the sharpshooter. Sharpshooter locked in. Mitchell is fingertips away from that bottom rope. But a nice reversal, doesn't even need to utilize the rope. And a Claymore! Claymore by Mitchell! Is this the title change? 1, 2, and Jack Mitchell is the new Wayfinder Cruiser Champion. 1 Claymore is all it took.
Here is your winner, and new Cruiserweight Champion, Jack Mitchell.
1 Claymore is all it took for Jack Mitchell to hold championship gold for the very first time here in FWE. He's the new Wayfinder Cruiser Champion. Still 1 title to be decided here tonight, but up next, it is a kind of #1 contenders match. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Welcome back here to FWE as we get ready for a
Is a tag team match set for 1 fall. On the
Well, I didn't want to interrupt our ring announcer, Mike Rowe, but as you heard, a tag team matchup, and this is in a sense a number one contenders match. The reason that it's kind of a number one contenders match is in a couple of weeks' time at FWE Infinity War Games, the women's tag team titles will be on the line. The current champions, Velma and Daphne, putting the titles on the line against the former champions, Kim Possible and Shigo. However, a third team will be added to that matchup, making it a triple threat tornado tag team match. Team Let It Go and the soon-to-be announced team winner of this match will be that third team added into the title picture.
And their opponents, the Queens.
Jasmine and Rapunzel representing the Queens, gonna face off against Team Let It Go, Anna and Elsa. One of these two teams will join Kim Possible, Shigo, Daphne, and Velma in the triple threat tornado tag team title match for the women's tag team championships at FWE Infinity War Games. Anna and Elsa were involved in the tag team title match a couple of weeks ago, which was an elimination style fatal four-way tag team matchup. Had a very interesting stipulation, but Daphne and Velma overcame the odds, becoming the new women's tag team champions. It's like Rapunzel will be starting for her team, Anna for her team. Big opportunity here for both teams. We just mentioned about the fact Team Let It Go a couple of weeks ago was in the tag team title picture. It's been a while since we've had the Queens fighting for the tag team titles. As Elsa with a springboard forearm, immediately going for a cover, gets a 1 count on Rapunzel before a kick out. Incredible night already, just a couple weeks removed from FWE Infinity War Games. We saw Ariel successfully defend the Women's Hardcore Championship earlier on tonight. Jack Mitchell is the new Wayfinder Cruiser Champion, and still to come in our main event, Michael Norman puts the Intercontinental Championship on the line inside of a steel cage, and everybody here in this FWE Fantasy Dome Arena waiting with bated breath to find out who the challenger is going to be, handpicked by our FWE Commissioner, Christopher Pierce. Oh, wow. Anna taking her eye off the ball. Jasmine makes her pay with a drop kick to the back. Irish whipped into the corner. Back forearm, might be looking for the corner, 619, and she hits it. Now Anna delivers the lower back to the top turnbuckle, flings Jasmine across the ring, and now looking maybe for the knee, hits it right on the side of the head. Up over the top rope to the outside goes Anna. And now Rapunzel gonna go over there and add a little bit of extra damage. Jasmine facing off there with Elsa. Maybe looking for the middle rope stunner, which will take Elsa out of play and leave Anna with nobody to tag. Smart move there by the Disney Queens. Jasmine now with a shot right to the knee. And now, nice backbreaker there by Jasmine. Cover in on Anna to be added to that triple threat. And a kick out. And now Anna working as well on the leg of Jasmine. Oh! Nice springboard forearm by Anna. And hot tag made there by Jasmine. In comes Rapunzel. Nice move there by Rapunzel. Leapt over her partner into that modified Bulldog. And now, nice DDT. And now Anna in position. Rapunzel will hit the drop kick. Big body shots there by Anna. Kicks to the lower gut. And now just bringing down the vertical base of Rapunzel, finishing it off with a knee. Rapunzel now going to be in the wrong part of town as Anna brings her over to the corner. Makes the tag to her sister, Elsa. Little double team here as Rapunzel hoisted up into the air. And a bad landing. Back down to the mat. Oh, wow. Big punt kick right there to the side of the head. And now a shot right to the lower back by Elsa. The Ice Queen. Rapunzel trying to fight out of the corner. Looking maybe for a suplex, nice suplex, snap suplex there. As now Elsa rolls to the outside. Rapunzel gonna go out there and meet her. Little rope-a-dope there. Elsa back inside of the ring. Now Anna squared up there with Rapunzel. And Elsa gonna go for the 10 beats in the Batterum here to Jasmine. Now Elsa is inside of the ring. Rapunzel is not. So the queens are in jeopardy of losing via count-out. And Elsa might have been going for a top rope forearm, misses. Uh-oh. Oh, she's gonna do it again. Jasmine's already had 10. She's about to double down and get 20. You notice the referee's count is at 2. After Elsa exited the ring, the referee's count reset. And now both Jasmine and Anna are down on the outside. It is a straight up one-on-one right now between Rapunzel and Elsa. It may be down to them as to who's going to be added to that triple threat match at FWE Infinity War Games. As a nice springboard arm drag there by Rapunzel. Oh, was going for the clothesline. And Elsa had it scouted. Oh, and a nice knee once again, this time on the outside of the ring. Anna is back up in her corner. Jasmine back up in her corner. Rapunzel looking for the tag, and in comes Jasmine. Oh, but is met with the high knee by Elsa. Shot to the lower gut. Jasmine, head scissors. Airplane spin takedown. And now hits a DDT. Again, one of these two teams gonna be added to the triple threat tornado tag team matchup at FWE Infinity War Games. Hold on, might be looking for the running Bulldog. Hits it. And Elsa gonna go for a tag there. In comes Anna. And Anna's gonna get met with a DDT. As I was gonna say, the winner of this matchup then joins the triple threat tornado tag team matchup involving the current champions, Velma and Daphne, as a crash and burn sent on there by Anna. And the former champions, Kim Possible and Shigo, who lost their tag team titles a couple of weeks ago. Referee begins the count once again, up to a 3 count, as both the legal participants on the outside of the ring. And a reminder as well that a couple weeks after FWE Infinity War Games, a one-night special, as we will be having a mixed match challenge tournament, as now Anna with the 10 beats the Batterum to Rapunzel. But July 10th, it's the Fairly Odd Partners PLE. Lana with the tag into Elsa. Oh, big kick! Big kick! Super kick! Jasmine might be out! And Elsa's gonna pick up the win for Team Let It Go.
Here are your winners, the Spitfire Warriors.
Well, it is official. It will be Mystery Incorporated versus Kim Possible and Shigo versus Team Let It Go for the Women's Tag Team Championships in 2 weeks' time at FWE Infinity War Games. But up next, in our main event, the Intercontinental Championship is on the line.
The following contest is a steel cage match and is for the Intercontinental Championship.
We are waiting to see who the challenger is, handpicked by FWE Commissioner Christopher Pierce.
Let me show you girls around.
And it is going to be the leader of the Disciples of Darkness.
Underground in my town. I got a penthouse on Spark Avenue. I'd like you to see.
Big opportunity here tonight
Works of art
for Hades
dedicated
to
me.
become the new FWE DC Comics Intercontinental Champion.
Designs and knives.
Earlier on tonight, FWE Commissioner Christopher Pierce announced that Michael Norman, Anthony McCrory, Cole Eastwood, Matt McIntyre, their demands for title shots would be met if they met his stipulations, which included this Intercontinental Championship match here tonight. Next week, Matt McIntyre and the newly now reinstated Ernie the Keebler Elf inside Hell in a Cell. And in 2 weeks' time at FWE Infinity War Games, all 4 members of the family will be put in the War Games matchup against a team
I'm just kidding.
of FWE Commissioner Christopher Pierce's choice. And I've just been handed a memo that next week, folks, we will find out who that team is going to be, as they will be in action in next week.
Come on, ladies. Sing along with Hades.
Well, I was going to say next week's main event,
Show you girls around.
but next week's main event is the Hell in a Cell match. We got a lot on tap for next week. You are not going to want to miss the go-home show. 20-man gauntlet eliminator style #1 contenders match for the Tri-Wizard champion Dylan Young. The Hell in a Cell match between Ernie the Elf and Matt McIntyre, and now we're going to find out who the team's going to be next week that faces off against the family inside War Games. This is going to be nuts. But the champion Michael Norman, the inaugural Intercontinental Champion, has held that title ever since episode 1 here in FWE. His title might be in jeopardy here tonight. We mentioned about the fact ever since the faction was put together, Michael successfully defended the Intercontinental Championship back at FWE Sugar Rush against Levi McIntyre. Cole Eastwood and Anthony McCrory picked up a tag team victory. Eastwood, McCrory, and McIntyre picked up a tag team win last week in a 3-on-3 tag team match. Earlier on tonight, however, Dylan Young did defeat Anthony McCrory in a 1-on-1 match, so that is the first loss that the faction has had since they formed up. Could that be a bad sign for the champion coming into tonight?
Introducing the challenger from the pits of hell, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Warden of Death. And his opponent from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 296 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, Michael Norman.
Well, it's been very interesting. If you look at title reigns here in FWE, we've seen a number of titles change hands quite a bit. The men's tag team titles, the women's tag team titles have changed hands numerous times. The women's hardcore championship has been exchanged numerous times, as has the Hero of China Fighting Female Championship. But you look at the two mid-card titles on the men's side. Ever since Gaston won the United States Championship from Nick Gunther, he has had a stranglehold on that title, successfully defended it last week in that fatal five-way. And Michael Norman, as we mentioned, he has had a stranglehold on this Intercontinental Championship, but odds may not be in his favor here, as it all comes down to who's more at home inside of a steel cage. There you see referee Ernest Wright beginning to unlock the door. There are 4 ways to be able to win this matchup: pinfall or submission inside the ring, or you can, by request, have the referee open up the door, escape the cage that way, or climb over the top of the steel cage with both feet hitting the floor to escape as well. And you saw Hades was trying to make the climb there to win the Intercontinental Championship. Look at the strength of Michael Norman. Hades is no small man, and now Michael asking the referee to open up the cage door, but Hades going to meet him with a neck breaker. And a drop kick to the back. Of course, remember Michael Norman putting the title on the line here via the demands of FWE Commissioner Christopher Pierce, but the end result would be Michael Norman having an opportunity at the Tri-Wizard Championship at some point down the line after FWE Infinity War Games. Of course, as well, a couple more of the demands having to be met. Matt McIntyre, Ernie the Keebler Elf next week inside Hell in a Cell. And then, of course, all 4 members of the family facing off against a yet-to-be-announced, but we will find out next week who they are, team inside War Games at the upcoming PLE. Those requirements met. Michael Norman gets a world title shot. Anthony McCurry and Cole Eastwood get a tag team title shot. And Matt McIntyre gets a United States Championship shot. Right now, Hades is rolling. Facebuster. Drops the elbow. Hades has never won championship gold here in FWE. First opportunity here for him to earn a singles title. Michael Norman with a cover. Forearm in the face. And not even going to get a 1 count. Now Michael Norman, got to credit him. He has been a fighting champion. Successfully has retained his title in numerous bouts, but this may be his toughest task yet. Oh, wow. Nice reversal there by Hades, using those long legs to deliver a kick to the back of Michael. Get out of that situation in the corner. Michael, though, clothesline. Back forearm. Oh, and now hoisting up Hades. Might be looking for that running power slam. Hits it. Not going for a cover. Might have something else in mind. Could he be looking for the Dominator? He'll hit the Dominator. And he's still not done. Maybe looking for the end of days. Hits it to retain the Intercontinental Championship. And Michael Norman is still the Intercontinental Champ.
Here is your winner, and still Intercontinental Champion, Michael.
The reign continues for the leader of the family. The challenge was thrown down by the FWE Commissioner. Michael Norman answered in spades. Next week, it's the go-home show for FWE Infinity War Games. Make sure to join us. Thank you all for tuning in tonight.